What's happening everyone? My name is Wayne. Thanks for joining me on this episode. If you are new to my channel and you have somehow found it, thanks for stopping by. And to all my other subscribers, it is so good seeing you again. This episode is all about rim widths, narrow, wide, and super wide. We have a ton to run through, so strap yourselves in and let's go! I get so pumped up every time I talk about anything bike related. Let's go take a look at the rims I have. These rims over here are the Stans Arch X, and these have an internal rim width of 21 millimeters. My God, that is pretty darn narrow. I would class a narrow rim as rim widths between 19 millimeters up to around about 27 millimeters. I was riding these at the stage, but I've dropped them because they are just way too narrow for me. Narrow rims are generally a little bit lighter than what wider rims are. Less material used building the rim equals a lighter rim. A tire blows up pretty narrow on a rim like this, leaving a lesser contact patch between the tire and the ground. So less tire on the ground, less resistance, less drag, making riding a little bit easier, getting up those hills because there's less resistance. A more efficient tire is going to allow you to burn less energy while you are out riding on your bike, just making those rides a little bit easier. Now the downsides of having a narrow rim: because there is less contact area, you're not going to have as much traction, so you may wash out a little bit easier. Climbing up those steep climbs, you may break a bit of traction and you might spin the back wheel out while climbing. You'll have a weaker wheel build with a narrow rim, which causes the rim to flex and go out of true a lot quicker and a lot easier than a wider rim. That also depends on the lacing pattern and also if it's carbon or alloy. And then lastly, the biggest deal breaker for me about narrow rims is tire roll. If you're riding down trail and you are slaying those corners real hard, you'll feel the tire roll from side to side, and that feels like the rim is flexing and cause a braking traction. On the other hand, you will roost like a pro. Now let's get to my favorites. Time for some bike porn. These are my new rims from C6. They are 29er, they are wide, and they are enduro. These have an internal rim width of 32 millimeters. These are pretty darn wide and they are like literally borderlining super wide. I would class the inner width of a wide rim between 28 millimeters and 32 millimeters. Wide rims will blow the tire up wider. Wider tires generally have a wider contact area between the tire and the ground, which means you're gonna get more traction out on the trail, climbing and descending and hitting those corners. So more traction equals a safer ride. More traction also means better braking grip, meaning your tire is going to grip the ground while braking much better, stopping you a lot faster. You won't skid out as easily, and that will slow you down quicker. When the tire blows up on a wider rim, it supports the sidewalls of the tires better, leading to less tire roll from side to side, which also leads to less washouts out on the trail. You get less flex on the wider rim because it's generally stronger, and also it's less maintenance because it is stronger. Wide rims blow tires up wider and have a higher air volume, which leads to a more comfortable ride. The more air in the tire, the more dampening properties you have on that tire, which just creates a smoother ride and a more comfortable ride. It also helps the tire mold itself to the terrain that you're riding, which gives you better grip, better traction on the routes and rockier stuff. I could run plus size tires on these rims no problem. Now the disadvantages of riding a wide rim is that there's more traction. More traction means more energy used out on the trail. Another bummer about wide rims is that you have less choice between tires. Because there's more material used in wider rims, they're generally heavier than narrow rims, leading to a heavier wheel build. But that really boils down to what components you're using for your wheel build. And lastly, depending on the area that you are staying in, you may struggle to find suitable tires to run on wider rims. You just have to go online and order the right tires. There are plenty of online stores selling suitable tires for your rims. These over here are my Ibis 741 rims. I've been running these for around about 3 years, and let me tell you, I've probably only trued these once in those 3 years. I would class the internal width of a super wide rim between 33 and 40 millimeters wide. So advantages of running super wide rims. You have the ability to run plus size tires on these comfortably. These rims are super stiff, they are super stable, and there is literally zero tire roll on these. Even though the super wide rims look so good and they are rare to ride, they are pretty much a novelty for me. I haven't felt much significant advantages of running the super wide rim over a wide rim, simply because the wide rims that I have been riding have been around about 32 millimeters wide, and it's pretty darn close to this. But the disadvantages of these super wide rims is that there are not many tires that blow up correctly on this rim. Maxxis has the wide trail range of tires which blow up really well on here, but majority of the other tires, except for plus size tires, are just lacking on tire profile when it's blown up on this rim. So what happens is that the tire just blows up way too square, and it leads to braking traction, especially on the off-camber stuff. If I was choosing a wheel set and I was riding cross country, marathon, or racing XCO, or even some light trail riding, there is nothing wrong with a narrow rim. But if you are an aggressive rider, I would stick to the wider of the narrow rims. Because I like traction and I like a stable tire, I would choose a wide rim over anything. I've even chosen a wide rim for my cross-country bike. Now, I'm not saying that choosing a narrow rim is bad. It isn't bad. It's just what you are looking for out of a rim. That's the video finished. I hope you guys got a lot of information from this. If there are any points that I have left out, please leave it in the comment section below. Thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe if you like my channel. Remember, videos every Monday and Wednesday. Thanks for hooking up with me this time, and I will catch you on the next episode.